Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria 2, where we just got a tax efficiency invention. I'll take it. However, we've also got a few too many craftsmen in Sudan, and I don't really feel like we have a good option for what factory to increase, other than maybe this cement factory, actually. It's producing cement. It only takes coal as its import, which we have a ton of coal. Yeah. I'm going to expand this factory. Let's do it. Okay, problem solved. I was going to encourage clergy over here for the potential research points, but no, it's fine. Actually, while that's constructing, that's going to be a year, I am going to go ahead and remove this focus. And we're going to encourage clergy over here for right now. We can put it back where it was once that expansion is done. So we're going to encourage clergy because the optimal amount of research points comes from clergymen being 2% of our population. So that's something that we're going to want to work towards. We are, of course, still encouraging craftsmen in Kordofan because we have a big dearth of those currently. Okay, so that factory is constructing. Guangxi went bankrupt. Oh boy. They owed us money. The AI seems to do that a lot. Hello, paper production. We don't make paper. So, that's not very important to us right now. I like how I'm playing this essentially as a business simulator. And not at all as a nation simulator. We're a business that have this territory sovereign. And it's great. And get a lot of our money from taxes, I guess. But hey, there's a prestige. Well, a shared prestige. I'm not sure what the difference between a regular prestige and a shared prestige is, but I guess we'll take it. Okay, so this is substantially more expensive, but it is cheapening as the years go by. So that's good. I just want to grab all of these research point bonuses. And yeah, this is coming up substantially quickly as we're encouraging clergymen, which is nice. We want to hit that 2% of the population mark. So, yeah, that seems good. We've saved a month on this research time already by doing this. Directive on trade in the provinces. As part of our government's citizenship policy, soldiers of the Home Army have been ordered only to buy goods from Amhara traders. This is starting to aggravate already existing tensions in Ilorin as local Hausa traders feel the effect of government discrimination. Ethiopian Hausaland Amharans will gain 2 militancy. How many Amharans are there here, really? 4% Amhara in Sokoto. 12% in Kebhi. There's very few around here. Yeah, rescind the policy. Get out of here, Amharans. Says the Amharan. Who's trying to promote more Amharans. This game is kind of weird. Egypt's opinion of the USA has increased to cordial, huh? I don't suppose they would give us military access yet. Nope, they absolutely would not. Yep, that sounds correct. But hey, we've got railroads finishing, so that's great. And then the question becomes, what do we actually want to produce? I want to produce a consumer good in Kordofan. The question becomes, paper probably takes timber as an input, doesn't it? That's my guess. Well, what would the majority of our citizens actually want? Like, what's a luxury good for the more populous things? Like, for example, the artisans or the craftsmen. Actually, the farmers are by far the most populous. So what are their everyday needs? Ammunition, small arms, coal, tea, liquor, regular clothes, furniture. We are producing furniture. Regular clothes. What about the laborers? Regular clothes. What about the artisans? Regular clothes. That is potentially a good option. We do produce cotton, don't we? Let's see here. That's machine parts. What am I talking about? We produce cotton, yeah. So what if we were to build a regular clothes factory? What would be the inputs for this? Let's see. What is that? Is that fabric? Yes. So fabric would require cotton and this. I don't know what this is. It's kind of a... almost looks like a saddle? Is this something that is produced, or is this a raw good? Let's check. It looks kind of like... dye? Yeah, this is dye. Okay. So if this is dye, then what do we need to produce dye? Do we not have a dye factory? I mean, we don't produce any dye ourselves, so that would have to be imported. We could make a fabric factory and import the dye. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then we would need a regular clothes factory from the fabric, and we don't seem to have the ability to create a dye factory. Which it explicitly says that you can produce a dye factory. But to produce dye, we need to own a province producing it. So maybe we can only build a dye factory in a province that makes dye? Or maybe we can make our own at some point with tech. So like, for example, if we were to hop into our tech here under industry, organic chemistry, yeah, it's an invention, synthetic dye under organic chemistry. Okay, I can work with this. So then we make a regular clothes factory, but also potentially a luxury clothes factory. What is this that this takes in? Regular clothes and whatever that is. Silk. That is silk. Interesting. So we definitely want to make a regular clothes factory here. And I'm pretty sure we just took a loan. But then a luxury clothes factory would be the next thing that we would build here. Would be the idea. And that would go here, and then once we get our invention, then we'd put up a dye factory for a synthetic dye here, and then we'd have one slot available. And what would that be? Maybe a glass factory, actually. That just takes in coal. Yeah, let's do a glass factory. Okay, now we did take some loans. How much loans did we take? Oops, I don't want to take a loan. I want to repay a loan. There we go. No more loans. Fantastic. Okay, so then as soon as we have enough money, we'll start up a luxury clothes factory. And then we could potentially do a luxury furniture factory that takes in tropical wood, which we actually do have, and regular furniture, which we do produce. There's a big old timber shortage. So the question is, what does a synthetic dye factory take in? I have no idea. It doesn't say in here. Let's see here. Probably coal? And something else? Thanks, Upper House and autosave. Because the reason I say coal is because it requires that you have invented clean coal. So, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. We are almost making 20 research points every single day, though, so that's great. We've almost doubled our amount of research points already. We could gain more liberal in the upper house, or we could have our pops become more liberal. I'm going to take it in the upper house, because I don't actually want the Liberal Party to take control, but I'm okay with them having a significant chunk in the upper house. They vote okay, they just have a tendency to shut down our factories, and I'm not super okay with this. I can't help but notice we've been losing some employees over here. Oh, I think they moved into our concrete factory, I'm pretty sure what they did. Okay, well, that's fine. They can do that. I'm gonna just continue encouraging clergymen for right now until we reach that 2% of the population, because that's gonna be pretty important for increasing our total research points. Because that seems to produce quite a lot as we approach 2%. So that's gonna definitely be continuing to be our focus. And of course we are still encouraging craftsmen over here, which is great because we're building a bunch more factories. Now, as far as our actual finances go here, things are going reasonably well. Our literacy is coming up nicely, so that's great to see. And our clergymen are as well. Both are contributing to getting more research points. And as these last two techs come in here, that's going to be absolutely huge for us. These are prestige gains. Educational efficiency. That's not bad. We might grab this level of educational efficiency. Max national focus. That's good too. There's a lot of good things in here, to be sure. This wouldn't take very long at all to research this level 3 tech. Of course, the level 2 tech for Navy. But I don't care about navies. And I think that's pretty obvious at this point. So we were going to get started on that luxury clothes factory. Basically now-ish. In fact, now is fine. There we go. World Anti-Slavery Convention. Yeah, that's fine. The subject of women's suffrage has come into national focus at the Gondar Anti-Slavery Convention, held just the other day in Gondar, Ethiopia. With several international delegates present, some of whom women, a notion was put before the convention that female delegates, while they should be heard before the chamber, should ultimately be denied the right to vote on any resolutions to be adopted by the convention. The seating arrangements alone have become an issue, as men and women at the convention sit segregated. It's becoming ever more obvious that women in Ethiopia and the entire Western world are increasingly striving to partake in public discourse and debate. So we could have pops become 10% more liberal and gain a consciousness, or all pops would gain half a consciousness and a militancy. And I'm going to say that this blatant discrimination is silly to the point of absurd, because it kind of is. There we go. Fantastic. Now let's repay our loan. Oh, we took quite a big loan, actually, but we can repay it already. There we go. Easy peasy. More railroads finishing up. We can't do any reforms currently because the upper house is not in favor of it because of our coalition. That's going to change next election. I'm pretty sure the Liberals are going to win. Which means they're probably going to break our factories. But that's okay. We can just fix it. Of course, maybe now that we've done some of these social reforms, maybe they'll be a little bit more okay with it. Oh, hello. What is happening here? France is backing us. The UK is backing Sokoto. Diplomatic tension has caused an international crisis in East Houseland. We have no concerns. This will be resolved in a civilized way. Yeah, I hope so. The UK is backing Sokoto. France is backing us. So what can we do about it? Chile, Peru, and Argentina are at war. That's not very relevant. Not very relevant at all. Current crisis is heating up. I'd like it if the USA would back us. I mean, their opinion of us is maxed. They don't seem too interested, though. So we can do a political reform here, and we do have a movement. Oh, we did have a movement. We no longer have a movement for harassment, and the maximum work hours radicalism would go up substantially here if we were to pass one of these political reforms. So I think I'm going to not do that currently. The Russian Empire joined the current crisis on the side of France. France is on our side. So that means Russia is on our side. They have a military power of 585 compared to France's 259 and the UK's 577. So Russia is actually more powerful than the UK. Russia plus France is way more powerful. However, it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Subscribe for more, and next episode, we'll see what this crisis ends up with. That's going to be exciting. See you all then.